How do we get to the place where we ignore the red flags? Because it's important before we talk about, oh, you ignore the red flags and these red flags were there. You got to understand first what led to you ignoring the red flags. And one of the first things that happen when it comes to you being in a position to ignore a red flag is desperate energy. If you're in a place of desperation, and there are a lot of people, and I'll give some examples of some of my clients who were in certain toxic relationships, and they said they ignored the red flags. They noticed certain things, but they didn't think it was completely true, so they ignored it. A lot of these clients start off with desperate energy, whether they're desperate to be in a relationship, they have been out of a relationship in years, they haven't had a relationship in years, they really want love, they're just desperate to be with someone and just to have someone value and nurture them, or they're desperate to make a life change. Maybe they really, really, really want to have a baby, or they really, really, really want to get married, and they're so desperate that they're willing to ignore some of the red flags. And a lot of the red flags, they're real subtle. They're not as extreme, but they're there. And these clients choose to ignore it. They say, well, I was a little confused. No, you wasn't confused. You just ignored the small voice that was telling you this isn't right. You ignored that quiet intuition that showed you that person was not right for you. And you chose to ignore it because you wanted it to work. Let's just be honest. You really wanted it to work. And you wanting it to work, you were willing to do whatever it took. And that includes ignoring the red flags. So the reason why we ignore the red flags and we override the red flags is because we want change. We want transformation. We want it to work out, right? So we will ignore it because we want to fight for it to work. And some people say, well, I don't know if it's my intuition.